you ever found yourself longing to be unshakable, untouched by criticism, rejection, or betrayal? Many people dream of a life where emotional pain no longer stings, where they no longer have to pretend to be strong when they are quietly falling apart inside. In a world that often rewards emotional detachment and stoicism, the idea of becoming untouchable seems like the ultimate form of power. But Carl Jung, one of the most influential thinkers in modern psychology, offered a very different perspective. Jung taught us that the path to true emotional resilience doesn't lie in avoiding pain, it lies in facing it. The strength we admire in others is not the result of hardening their hearts, but the fruit of a deep, conscious integration of their inner world. This journey isn't easy, but it is liberating. If you are ready to explore the depths of your own psyche and truly transform the way you relate to pain, then this path is for you. The illusion of avoidance. We live in a culture that encourages us to run from discomfort. We numb ourselves with entertainment, overwork, or toxic positivity. But as the video wisely says, as long as you try to avoid pain, it will continue to control you. Avoidance doesn't heal wounds, it hides them, and what we hide gains power. Every time someone's words sting more than they should, or a small disappointment spirals into despair, it's often not about the event itself. It's about what that moment activates inside us. The pain is already there, quietly buried and waiting to be acknowledged. Carl Jung made it clear, we are not what happens to us, but what we choose to become. In other words, pain is not our enemy. Our response to it, the story we tell ourselves about it, is what defines us. You cannot outsource your healing. Most of us, consciously or not, are trying to manipulate the world so it doesn't hurt us. We strive to be good enough, strong enough, or understanding enough to ensure others treat us well. But this belief that if we do everything right, we will never suffer, is an illusion. Control is fragile. The more you try to predict or avoid pain, the more you live in anxiety. Real freedom starts when we accept that nothing outside of us can truly hurt us, unless it touches an unresolved wound within. Until we confront these inner wounds, we remain vulnerable, not because the world is cruel, but because our internal landscape is still fragmented. The unconscious runs the show. Carl Jung famously said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This is one of the cornerstones of Jungian psychology. Your triggers, your uncontrollable emotions, and even your bad luck are not random. They are messages from your unconscious, the vast unseen reservoir of forgotten memories, repressed emotions, and unhealed traumas. This shadow part of you isn't evil or weak, it's simply unacknowledged. When ignored, it doesn't go away. It manifests in anxiety, self-sabotage, destructive relationships, and inner chaos. Facing your shadow doesn't make you weak, it makes you whole. Strength lies in integration, not resistance. True strength is not found in pretending nothing affects you. It's found in knowing exactly what affects you and why. It's found in saying, "I know my pain. I understand where it comes from. I'm no longer afraid of it." Emotional maturity isn't the absence of emotion. It's mastery over your reactions. When you integrate your fears, insecurities, and hidden desires, you stop being reactive. You begin to observe rather than absorb. You start making conscious choices rather than being driven by unconscious scripts. Jung called this process individuation, becoming your true self, separate from the masks you wear and the expectations you've absorbed from society. It's not about perfection, it's about wholeness. The power of pain. We are conditioned to see pain as the enemy, but Jung saw it as a guide. Depression is like a lady in black, he once said. If she appears, don't send her away. Invite her in. Offer her a seat. and listen to what she has to say. Pain is not random. It's a message. It tells you where you are still at war with yourself, where the ego clings to control, and the soul cries for transformation. Growth hurts, not because life is cruel, but because letting go of outdated beliefs, false identities, and emotional armor feels like death. And in a way, it is. But as with all deaths, there is rebirth. When pain strips away your defenses, it also reveals your essence. It brings you face to face with your truest self, without roles, without masks, without pretenses. Awakening requires choice. Awakening isn't a one-time event. It's a choice you make every day to look within, to take responsibility, to stop blaming others for your feelings. Carl Jung said, "What you resist persists. What you accept transforms." The moment you stop resisting your fear, your shame, your loneliness, and start accepting them as part of you, that's the moment healing begins. Awareness is not passive. It requires courage to sit with discomfort, to feel deeply, to listen to what your pain is trying to teach you. But once you do, something miraculous happens. The actions of others no longer have the power to define or destroy you. From surface to depth. Most people live on the surface, reacting to every wave, every rejection, every criticism. But those who choose to dive into their inner world discover a kind of stillness and strength that can't be shaken. When you know your own depths, nothing outside can destabilize you. This depth doesn't mean detachment. It means clarity. It means understanding your triggers, recognizing your patterns, and seeing through illusions. You still feel, but you are no longer drowned by emotion. You suffer, but you do not lose yourself. You don't need to be perfect, just whole. The real secret? You don't need to become better. You need to become whole. Your wholeness includes your joy and your grief, your courage and your fear, your light and your shadow. When you embrace all parts of yourself, the world can no longer threaten you because there is nothing left to hide. You become untouchable, not by building walls, but by tearing down the inner divide. When your soul is unified, criticism no longer wounds, and loss no longer breaks you. You are anchored in something deeper than the ego, the self. Consciousness is your shield. In the final part of this profound journey, we learn that it is not strength that protects you, but consciousness. When you are aware of who you are and where your pain comes from, life still moves you, but it cannot destroy you. You become unshakable, not because you feel less, but because you are more present. This is the power of Jung's teaching. Emotional immunity doesn't come from pretending you don't care. It comes from caring deeply and understanding yourself so well that others no longer hold power over you. You are no longer living to be accepted, admired, or untouched. You are simply living authentically and fully. The journey within. To become untouchable is not to be indifferent. It is to be conscious. The world will still wound. People will still disappoint. Pain will still visit. But none of it can control you if you no longer reject yourself. Carl Jung's timeless wisdom teaches us that the way out is in. Your healing, your transformation, your strength. They all begin the moment you stop running and start listening. Pain is not your prison. It is your portal. So if you're tired of pretending, tired of hurting, tired of fighting the same emotional battles, know this. You are not broken. You are simply being called to go deeper. The journey won't be easy, but it will set you free.